Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on WINNMedia 98.9.
Good morning and welcome to this day's episode of. Why the hand was so loud?
I don't know.
Like in the studio. But this episode of Island Tea, with your hosts Kevon and Azem, sans Kevon, and we also have in studio with me today.
And every day.
For the most part. Jade Johnson. Jade Johnson,
Hi.
how are you this morning?
I am fit partly cloudy. No scattered showers today though.
Okay. I guess no one actually knows what that means, but keep saying it.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Today is Tuesday, July 27th. Wow.
Yep.
July 27th, 2021. Already. I'm convinced that at some point the scientists are gonna just come and reveal to us that, yeah, guys, we didn't really want to tell you, but time's been actually speeding up this entire time. And we've just been like adjusting everyone's clocks and cell phone things. You ever realize like if you watch all of a sudden to just be falling behind your actual cell phone now?
No, the way I watch it.
Ah, you see, that's part of it.
The way I watch it.
Your watch is your watch is always for some reason dropping time. What they're doing is all the cell phones and all the like computers and everything. Yeah, they're already programmed to just keep speeding up with the actual speeding up of time. And so that's what's going on.
Not shocking, honestly.
Yeah, time speeding up, man. Nobody could tell me different. Time speeding up, and every day just getting hotter. Like every year getting hotter than the last year.
That it is. Yesterday I almost died walking through town. I don't know.
You walked to town? Why would you do such a
I
thing?
didn't have a choice. Honestly. I had to. And the heat is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, but I need it to stop. I need them to turn it back down to the regular weather that it was before, because this one is not it.
That's another one of the things they're doing too. Like 98 degrees now and 98 degrees 5 years ago.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked because, HAP kind of revealed itself recently with the rain in
Dubai?
Yeah, so, all the years we hear in HAP, real HAP, this, HAP, that, they make hurricanes. Oh, all of a sudden they made rain just...
I guess
just wake up and was like, we need a little rain, let me make some.
Let me ask you a question. You think like the idea for that whole thing came out of the strip club?
Making it rain?
Making it rain.
Could be.
I mean, it does make sense. Like,
it would make sense.
It would make sense that that's where it came
They just
from.
use the...
They're like, wait, can we actually do this?
Probably.
And then they made it happen. Yeah.
Pick up the strippers one time.
Ballerinas.
Yeah, y'all are important. Y'all are changing the world.
Ballerinas, apparently some people. Anyway, Jay, I was supposed to ask you.
No, I'm not a stripper anymore.
You're not?
No, I quit.
Oh.
Yeah. So that answers your question?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I suppose we can continue with the rest of the day now.
Yes.
But no, actually, I was actually about to ask. Like, tell me something off your bucket list.
Off my bucket list? Yikes.
Your bucket list so like hard?
No, I just don't have one.
What?
I don't think about it, honestly. I haven't
You
thought
don't
about
think about things you want to do in your life?
Yeah, but there's like remedial things like, provide for my son, build a house.
Okay, build the house thing, yeah. Like, you have to be very specific with your bucket list. And not even just your bucket list, your goals.
Exactly.
Be very clear and concise.
That's why I don't really have one. Like, I know people always say they want to jump out of planes and do all these things, but, I'm not a heights person. I don't do, like, thrill seeking, so...
No. Like, your bucket list ain't got to be... It could just be a place you want to visit.
Is there...
It could be... Okay, see, for me...
Is it Africa?
No.
Oh, I thought it was Africa, because I know you always...
Again?
Oh.
Yes.
See? Never mind.
And for everyone, I believe every black person in the diaspora should at some point go to the motherland. It's different.
Maybe
like,
that's on mine.
When you touch down, it feels different. Just go.
That's probably on mine.
Just go. I'm very happy to see the flight from Jamaica to Nigeria. So take advantage, guys.
Yeah.
But for me, one of the things I'm actively, like, I'm very clear about this is I want to see Dave Chappelle live.
Oh, okay. That's different.
I want to see Dave Chappelle live. Like, I want to sit in the audience and witness his genius in person.
I would like to see Cat Williams, but I feel like I'm going to pee my fans because, like, I like laughing and he can make me laugh too much. But I really love Cat Williams and his comedy. See,
that is so interesting to me. Like, I respect his comedy, but it don't resonate with me the same way. So I like Paul Mooney, Richard Pryor.
You seem to like deep.
I like people that make me think.
Yeah.
I think that's the purpose of comedy. It's not to make people laugh, it's to make people think.
I think Cat Williams makes you think too, but it's not like as deep as the rest.
I don't even know if it's not as deep, but it might just be different. Like, it's different. Like, Chappelle doesn't tell jokes anymore.
Yeah, he does just talk about real things and people.
Like, he's perfected. To me, he's perfected stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, and you know what it is. You know what it is. I don't like. Let me not say I don't like. But the comics that resonate least with me are the comics that I feel are trying to make me laugh.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like if I'm looking at you and I can
Like
tell,
Kevin
okay,
Hart?
like it, okay, well, Kevin Hart, I don't
not
really
funny
find
to
him
me.
funny, but
Yeah.
I know, but it's for a different reason with Kevin Hart. The comics that you see, like with Kevin Hart, Marlon Wayans, a lot of their funny comes from like facial expressions and just kind of being over the top a bit,
Yeah.
right?
Getting into
Like
that.
that don't really resonate with me. Again, I respect it.
But you're not a fan. of
Yeah,
that.
this is like Paul Mooney could just sit in a chair
And talk.
and talk, and I can't stop. I can't look away. Like I can't look away.
That's vibes. But that's a good bucket list. Though. That's like a good goal to have on your bucket list.
And the funny thing about it, all these, like I've been in several situations where I've knocked like concerts off my list by accident.
Well, in your profession, I feel like that's like not a hard thing.
Well, to some extent, but it's never been like I've been there to work or anything. It's okay. One time, one of the bands I always wanted to see was Steely Dan, right? And I happened to be just driving around, and there's this concert hall close to where I live, maybe like a half hour away. And I was literally just exploring the city. I knew where the concert hall was, and I literally drove up, and was like, oh, there's a concert happening. I wonder who playing.
You see it.
And it was Steely Dan.
Your luck.
And I literally, like, I'd worked there before, so I called the production manager, and he was inside, and he let me in, so I get to watch Steely Dan from like side stage.
Goals.
Like it was like,
Yeah.
I mean, like one of my favorite bands of all time. Like it's ridiculous.
It's so funny how things that just happen randomly.
And then there was this other concert I went to. It was B.B. King and Buddy Guy, blues legends, right? Both of them on my list to look at. And I don't usually, like I had a phone at the time, it wasn't giving me notifications. Like it just wouldn't give me notifications. Like this is back like in 2009 maybe.
What we had them times? Blackberries?
Blackberries. I think Blackberries were just on the way out. It was actually a Google phone. It was like the G1. The first Google phone is what I had.
Oh, okay.
And it was just glitchy. Like it wouldn't give me notifications from certain apps and stuff like that. So I was like, but what to do this weekend? Like it was one of the only weekends I didn't have like a job. So I said, well, let me see who playing in the city. And usually I would only put in like 50 miles, see who close by, you know. And me planning to go because me ain't got the money. And for some reason, I went to the list and it was like, okay, like, and looking at the venues that are usually like in the city, where I could probably sneak into.
Wow.
Right? And it's like, okay, yeah, back booth. Yeah, okay, oh, okay, some back band that nobody know, and cool. And I was like, okay, oh, what is this button here? And it was like the button to change the scope, like from 50 miles to 75 miles around you. And I switch it, and the first thing was a concert with B.B. King and Buddy Guy. The two of them together. And it was like 2 hours away. And I literally just jump. I had no money, Jade. I just walk out. I go in. I jump in my vehicle and just started driving.
So if you had the money, right? How you going?
I don't know.
Oh, you ain't know how you going?
I don't know how I'm gonna get in.
No, I'm asking how did you?
Okay, so I reached the venue, and I'm just looking around for anybody I might know. See, the thing about it is because I went to school with like people that do concerts. Generally, you might be able to find like somebody from the school. So I'm looking around, and then there's this one guy. Okay, funny story about this guy. This guy's. He wanted to come and live with me, and I was just like, but this guy looks so shady. No way, this man, I'm not moving in with this guy.
Oh, Lord.
And then I see him, and I'm like, So I call out to him. I'm like, yo, you going to the concert? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm working as a usher.
What should we eat now?
I like, well, look at that.
What should we eat?
Well, look at that. I was like, bro, watch here. This is one of my biggest like this right now is I give the whole story. Checking my phone. I didn't know how I was gonna get in. The man's like, oh, you want to go into the show? Yeah, go ahead. Like the man was literally just like, oh, okay, go ahead.
Goes by.
And I got in and got to watch like
Greatness.
BB King and Buddy Guy on the same stage. Like I was like, okay, life is complete.
So I got something. I wish these things would happen to me, but
Sometimes you just have to put yourself in a situation.
yeah, that's true. Somebody's asking where their friend is, meaning Kevon.
Went back
Kevon
to
is
space.
down and out.
Yeah, he went back to space and got a space flu.
Yeah, he doesn't have COVID. He just
Hey, that's the funny thing, you know. Every time one of us in here, the first question is, oh, they got COVID.
yeah, bye. No, he don't have COVID. He actually just not feeling well today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Everything right now is COVID. You cough?
So you can't cough nor sneeze, you know.
Yeah.
That's like against all the laws
Yeah.
of the land. You will be exiled if you cough or sneeze.
Somebody was telling me a story on Friday about going to the supermarket and somebody cough and like they just watched everybody just move back. It was just like a force field.
Yeah, you can't cough in a supermarket and to buy a crazy bit of hold that till outside.
Supermarket?
Listen, everybody would treat you like you have the plague. Literally.
Yeah. The plague was a serious thing, right?
Exactly.
Bye. But we have a few minutes before our friend joins us. You wanna just give the updates?
Yeah, get him a little update because I think I talked too fast.
Nah, man. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll have to wait and see. But guys, it is tea time. And we're gonna start with our COVID-19 situation report. Number 487. Is how much of them?
Boy.
But this one is as of Monday, 26 July at 6 p.m. Confirmed cases in the last 24 hours, 8.
Yikes.
But, okay, let me finish. So that now brings the total number of cases to 573. And we have recovered 531, which means active cases are now 39. But one of those cases was in Nevis, one of those 8 cases. And now that brings the number of cases in Nevis to 20. And the number of cases we've had in St. Kitts is 553. 555.
Oh boy.
Yeah, bye.
It's just every time you read the number and you watch Nevis, you're like. But then again, we started like Nevis, so.
But then again, I just be asking myself why me doing this show from over Zoom from Nevis. That's what I ask myself every morning. Yeah.
Why you ain't doing it from Nevis? Remember we supposed to go Nevis, you know?
Well, sunshine.
Oh yeah, may I forget? You might have forget, but may I forget?
You crazy? Where are we going?
That's a good question.
How we could go?
Where can we go this weekend? Maybe we could go and.
We could go during Culturama.
Yeah.
That's Independence weekend.
I should be free.
Okay, sound like a
Yeah.
plan.
Out of jail.
Yeah, be free?
Yeah, remember CPL ends the 15th. So I'll be free from the 16th.
Okay.
We can go Nevis. What do I think?
I'm excited. But yeah, I was there thinking to myself, like, the thing when you see some of these numbers, you go, oh, we're going up again. But what I recognized based on the last couple of reports, when we had like numbers that were a bit higher, it was more like families or like households.
Yeah, definitely was.
Yeah, so like people in close proximity, so you get like a good 6-7 people like from the same house. And then that does make the numbers look a little tense.
A little tense, yes.
A little tense. But we still ended up in the single digits.
Hoping to keep it that way.
Yeah, bye. I'm really hoping that's the case there.
I do as well. Like just keep it there.
Yeah. And guys, this really just means you need to adhere to the non-pharmaceutical protocols.
Please.
Wear a mask, sanitize, wash your hands when possible. I mean, every single time it's possible, wash your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And as Kevon likes to say when he's here, go beard.
Don't cough in nobody's face.
Don't cough in nobody's face.
Important information.
Yeah, and I mean, and just kind of be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. Make wise decisions about where you spend your time.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
I haven't seen my friends in a while because I just.
First time. Start doing these. You know what? Some friends of mine were doing. They were doing these like online games.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, they were doing them online games and
They right now.
like Uno and so.
Yeah, Uno and Ludo. Ludo causing problems in people's relationships.
Ludo just turn up the place, yeah.
Yeah, man. They
They
don't want to make you fight.
They're sorry for
online?
most likely.
Most likely.
But sorry was like Ludo and steroids,
I've never played Sorry.
Sorry was ridiculous. Sorry, you could literally like be almost done and the man just come and just like send you back home to start all over again.
That's how Ludo does make me feel like.
Yeah.
Fight. So I don't really try to go over there too often. Because it enrages me and I don't like
I've never played Ludo on my phone.
What? By watching?
I know it was hot at one point. Like everybody was playing Ludo.
Hot?
It's still hot?
What? I just see people cussing about Ludo.
So where they gotta play that day? You gotta play it on like Facebook or
Facebook got all the games. Facebook have all the games, okay?
Facebook remaining relevant somehow, somewhere.
Somehow, somewhere. They see a pandemic, they say put all the games them. All.
Yeah, listen all of them.
From pool to Ludo to racing to what's that one?
I mean play pool in a while by.
Yeah man, they got them.
I mean I got pool on my phone, like, and there's a lot of Singles people on it, so like a lot of people will be challenging me and I'll be losing. But
same, don't say that. These things happen.
I don't mind losing like the Ludos and so, because look, as much as it's fake money, I hate to lose the fake money on pool, Like me want lose. Me want when some partner don't stand the point just come on and eat up my money by. When man got with $10,000 just so.
I say that's good for real.
You know how much game I gotta go win now to get back that 10,000?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
find something to do.
Yeah.
Other than like gathering right now, until it's safe or until y'all taking the proper precautions, because we don't want to get back into these high numbers where we not sure what's going to happen. We speculate. It might be a lockdown, it might not be a lockdown. We might have to go back to curfew. Our curfew is currently at 11, which I doubt anybody realizes because everybody already home anyway. I feel like these lockdowns and curfews have transformed us into homebodies now. Like we are home. Some of us, because some of us in.
Watch here, Jade. You want to start about it?
Which one?
The fact that we were driving from this very studio.
Oh, and see people outside?
And like after 9, when we there thinking, hey, you got your pass? Man just by the bar, them liming still.
Chilling. Beating one before they go home.
And the man ain't even hide. The man just smoke all the police, them don't come down here.
Plus they're home, technically.
They're not home.
They're all of that.
They're not home. They might be in the village.
Yeah, man.
They might be in the community, but they ain't
Very
home.
close to home.
They're not home.
They might walk out. Bye, let me just beat one more.
You know how I know they wasn't home? Because
them?
No, and well, not only that. But they had their cars parked next to the bar. Which means not only are they out after curfew, not only are they not necessarily home, but then they plan to beat after curfew and then drive.
Yeah, well, we want them to walk.
Yeah, you're onto something there.
Yeah, man, that makes sense.
You're onto something there.
Why somebody on this live doing maths? 4 plus 4 equals 8 all the time? But why?
Not always, actually.
For sure?
Yeah. 4 plus 4 does not always equal 8.
So it is equal to sometimes?
9.
Huh.
And 7.
What? Who makes this?
Google it. No, real talk.
What?
Like, Google it.
I ain't Googling it. You know why? It's going to stress me out. Like, y'all are just make up things.
It depends on how you round, like if it's
Oh, me talking about
fraction. You see, but that's what I'm telling you. It doesn't always equal. It doesn't, but it doesn't always equal it.
Sure.
Our house in the middle of the street.
Our house is in the Okay, sugar man.
You see that? Like that's something that does bother me,
What?
You see, like how you see that there and you think sugar band one time.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's
Who
original.
Who felt that the
No.
original ain't popping in my head? Sugar Man just, you know?
No. Me, I'm saying about you not popping in your head.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, a lot of people don't know that there's an original.
Yeah, that's
And that's-
usually how band culture goes.
And it does really get to me because, especially the fact that with the people who, when like Drake take a song from Popcorn, we are like, but nobody knows Popcorn song. Lah. And I'm just like,
But
we do it more than anybody else. Caribbean culture does it more than anybody else.
By Caribbean, especially Caribbean band culture. I remember one time, right, when we had an event and we bought Copper Shot from Jamaica, right? And I think it was around Labor Day. So, you know, they had like things happening in town and stuff. This
Yeah.
was when we could have go outside freely and lime amongst people.
Wow.
Yeah,
Memories.
boy. But I took them down to Party Central because Party Central was having something, right? And I don't remember which band was playing, but a band was playing. And you know, most of the bands don't play their own songs; they play the remixes, their own remixes.
They put a rhythm and then sing a dancehall song on it. That's what they're doing.
And then they put in their own little words between there, you know, a little razzle dazzle. And
Three is literally 3 or 4 words
It don't
repeated
matter.
over and
It
over
don't
again.
matter.
No, I'm just telling you the formula.
Yeah. I had formula too. It been working, but it hasn't been working for Kittitions and
The
Divisions.
bands can't support themselves, but that's a whole other story. We'll continue.
Yeah. But so we're there and they're listening to the songs, right? And they're like, "This is what y'all do."
Like, it'll weird me out to Jade. I'm sorry. It'll weird me out to
Like,
anybody from
wait.
anywhere else in the world. Does just be like, excuse me?
Yeah, they was like, "Y'all just remix the songs them here." I said, "Some of them."
They don't even, like, it ain't
Majority
even,
of them.
it ain't even, this is what happens. They take, like, the acapella from the song, put it with a rhythm,
Wow, they're sweet, you know.
and just, like, sing it. And I'm just like,
I wonder who started that. Like, who was the first person in a band to come up with this formula? I would like to know.
the formula we do here in St. Kitts?
Yeah. I wonder who was the first person to come up with that formula, that band formula.
When you're talking about a lot of first in St. Kitts, you might be looking at Raskelly.
For sure, you think he was the first person to remix the song then?
You
Have
might
you
be-
interviewed Raskelly?
No, you want me to call him?
Yeah, I think you should. Call him for next week. We got space.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like that formula, like it really does just amaze me.
Boy, and it doesn't work. You stop there, yeah?
But that'll be my problem. Like
Your problem is that
my problem, like it don't
You
really
prefer
work.
it don't work for who?
None of the bands can support themselves, Jade.
Yes.
So what does working mean?
Internationally. However, here
They don't even.
They
They
love
play
it
here.
here.
They play here all the time, but
they
none
love
of the
it
bands
here.
can support themselves. That's what I'm saying.
yeah. So yeah, sometimes. So yeah, sometimes.
And this ain't some like up to when it was yesterday. Up to yesterday, I was talking to I won't call his name, but he's a musician, someone who's been around like from the 70s, Elimat, done calypso, done soca, bam 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 bam. And we were talking about this very same fact, the fact that now like
The bands can support themselves?
yeah, and the bands used to be able to support themselves. Like when you're playing in a band, that's your job. You work for the band. We totally regressed. There is not a band in St. Kitts where all of the members are supported by the band. They are like maybe 1 or 2 members, but yeah, everybody else got 95.
So you go for
I'll work for themselves.
So you got some. Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do,
Yeah.
and I think that's what they gotta do. So
That's what they're doing.
they don't have much of a choice. So
I would like and don't get me wrong. Like I would love the fact. I would like it. I think it's wise for persons to have multiple sources of income, but I want that to be not because the one income that is like based on your God-given talent isn't able to support you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I agree. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where when that is actually what we see and not this.
Yeah, hopefully. But I don't think it works when you just like remix people's songs. Because then if you actually get successful, you get...
Sued?
Well, maybe a cease and desist. Maybe a cease and desist. They might not go directly to sewage. But
A small thing.
yeah, small cease and desist letter. And don't feel like you're immune.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you're immune.
So yeah, sometimes. But you know.
Yeah, let's take a break because we have some lovely ladies in the studio with us this morning. And we're gonna go right into talking trash when we get back from this break. So guys, stick and stay. You're listening to Island Tea right here on WINNMedia SKN. Not gonna away.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
If you say you love your little dear country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere, lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't care. Take some pride in your country. Volunteer to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment. Whenever we litter, we threaten our survival. So those who engage in it should be treated like criminals. So don't be afraid at all if they call you an informer. Report those who endanger our future. So if you really love this blessed land, this situation demands attention. Think about the future generation. Do what we can to preserve this island. The laws for littering we must enforce. We have to let justice take its course. If you are a proud citizen, you have the right, you have a reason to save this land from destruction. You have an obligation to become involved in anything which affects this nation.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineer sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our NOSI program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean, because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
Welcome back to WINNMedia SKN, and we are live with our friends from Talking Trash. Good morning. How are you ladies doing?
Good morning. We're
Good
doing
morning.
quite well.
Nice. So what do we have on the agenda today for our listeners and our viewers?
Okay, our topics we'll be speaking to is hurricane preparedness and also overgrown vegetation. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Yes. Okay, good morning, everyone. And welcome again to another episode of Talking Trash. I am happy to be back, and I must say we are happy to be back once again. Right? Today, the 27th of July, 2021, and if this is your first time tuning in, I am very pleased to welcome you. Talking Trash is a weekly presentation of information and education, and is aired every Tuesday right here on WINN FM 98.9 from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. So I'm your host today, Anita Lake, collection manager at the Solid Waste Management. And as usual at Solid Waste, we deal with the generation, the collection, the separation, storage, and transportation, treatment, and disposal of solid waste right here in St. Kitts. I have with me this morning two of my colleagues. I have Lorna D'Souza, Little Warden, and also Norma. I wouldn't even venture in calling Norma's last name. So I will leave that to her, right? At this time, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. Go right ahead.
Hi, good morning. My name is Lorna D'Souza, Little Warden.
Good morning. My name is Namayam Bamganala, and I'm the Public Relations Officer.
I showed the public ain't hear the last name. Could you do it again?
We didn't even know where the first name and the last name end.
And I'm saying. That's why we simplify matters and
Love
just
it.
stick to Nama.
Nama, I like it.
See? Exactly.
All right. Okay. So there you have it. Before we get started, as usual, we want to remind you of a few housekeeping tips. We want you to remember that we want to clean your bins. Please, to wash your bins after they've been emptied. It is a violation, as a matter of fact, to deface the bins and to use them for anything else outside of your municipal collection. So we are encouraging you to try and keep your bins clean, wash them. And we also want to remind you, if wherever possible, to remove your bins from off the curb, off the sidewalk, and place them, take them on your premises, because we've been getting so many complaints, people missing bins, and we have to track the bins and things like that. And so, to avoid that, we are asking you to keep the bins on your premises as much as possible, and to keep them tidy. Okay. Like I said earlier, this morning we'll be discussing overgrown vegetation and hurricane preparedness. So now I'm going to put you on the spot. All right. As you know, we are living in a hurricane-prone area.
Yes.
And hurricane readiness should begin long before it's even occur. What are some things we can prepare far in advance for possible dangers to health and safety resulting from a hurricane?
I think one of the first things we can do to prepare for that is, as you know, communication usually goes down. And so having your radio, your batteries, those kind of things put in place somewhere safe, somewhere easily accessible. And sometimes we have them, but then we forgot where we put them. So making sure you remind yourself of where exactly those things are, your important documents, etc. Those are the things you need to ensure they are easily accessible, easily portable, in case you need to evacuate as well. Mm-hmm. Some of the other things is to ensure you get your house checked. Make sure that it's in good condition. And if it's not, then you need to know what you need to do in terms of trying to keep yourself safe, if you need to go and seek shelter elsewhere, etc. Something else that you probably need to take into account is the vegetation. We are in the Caribbean, we have trees in our yards. Mm-hmm. Some of those trees are massive. Mm-hmm. And so a little trimming here and there, you need to take that into account. And I believe my colleague, Ms. D'Souza, will speak more on that. Mm-hmm. I would encourage the general public to seek information from reliable sources, such as NEMA. So NEMA, you can, unfortunately, I believe their website right now is undergoing some maintenance. However, we are a Facebook community, so we know persons have access to Facebook. And so you can look for NEMA space SKN on Facebook, and you'll be able to get tips. You'll be able to find out a lot more information. Also, I would encourage individuals to actually seek out who their district managers are. Each community has a district manager. That is the liaison for NEMA. So that's the person, the go-between you and NEMA. These managers are aware of so many things, and so they'll be better able to advise you specifically according to your situation, where you live, your location, if you're near the sea, if your house or your roof perhaps is compromised. They can tell you what you need to do, what you need to put in place, so that you can basically prevent anything from happening to you at that time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I want to believe that, the listening audience would have really got some good education as to how to prepare. Anyway, I had another question for you though. Don't think you have your hookers yet. When a hurricane is coming, people tend to panic.
Yes, they
and
do.
stores, run out of essential staples like water, batteries, and flashlight very quickly. What are some recommendation or advice you can, give to persons to avoid panic shopping and worries?
Do not panic. We have been experiencing hurricanes forever. COVID has shown us the effects of panic shopping. Mm-hmm. You are going to buy rolls and rolls and rolls of toilet paper. Yeah. For what? You're going to buy so many groceries for what exactly? And I think it comes to your civic duty as well, and actually being responsible for your neighbor, being your neighbor's keeper. Mm-hmm. Because think about it, if you're going to go and buy out everything you want, what then happens to the individual coming after you? And right now with COVID, we have to be so much more careful because we don't want persons having to go to 10 different places so that they can get their necessity, the things that they actually need, those necessities. And so take what you need, maybe a little extra, so that you can feel a little better, but do not panic shop. Just what you need and leave some for those coming behind you.
Okay, good. As we talk about the preparedness, solid waste is doing, should say, as much as possible to make sure that we are prepared for our trucks to be outside there. And also, what we want to advise persons is that when our trucks are coming through, because there are times that it also depends on how devastating the hurricane is. Our trucks may not be able to come through because of debris might be in the road and things like that.
Could be a result of overgrown trees.
Exactly. So those are one of the things we're trying to avoid, and encourage person to make sure that those things are well trimmed so that it would not cause an obstruction for the truck in the event that we're out there collecting. All right. There are times we might end up may not able to collect your garbage because of again, may not be able to come through. And so we're asking you to make sure that you secure your garbage as much as possible.
Yes.
All right. Okay. We'll now turn our attention to overgrown vegetation because that is one of our main topic for today. So one might ask, what did you mean by overgrown vegetation? And so when we talk about overgrown vegetation, we are speaking about not just trees, but we are speaking about weeds, bushes, overhanging trees, vacant lots, to name a few. So part of our mandate is to keep our country clean. And our litter wardens, I must put this out, our litter wardens will be out in the full force.
Indeed.
As of August 1st, to promote and maintain the cleanliness and the beauty of our country. So you will be seeing them out there. They might be asking you about your land, pointing out to you things that we are expecting you to do. So when you see them there, you know what's going on. We've seen the occasional property that's, let its landscaping go to the point where the weeds and the overgrown bushes, the grass seems to be the only feature on the lot. I don't know if you ever realize that.
Yes.
And it makes it look so very unattractive, unsightly. And sometimes it becomes such an eyesore. And not only that, it's also potential for fire hazard and things like that. Feeding grounds for rats, for rodents and other vermin. So to reduce this risk, lawns should be kept trimmed and all yard waste, such as dry grass, tree limbs, bushes, and so should be clean and disposed of properly. I'm going to allow Lorna know, before we go there, I want to let the listening audience know. A well-maintained yard is also an effective crime prevention tool. You agree with me?
Yeah.
When your yard is nicely kept, it actually keep away persons from committing crime on your land. And so we want to encourage you to make sure you maintain your land. At this time, I'm going to turn over to Lana. Lana going to read what the act says, and she's going to tell you what we are expecting of you in keeping your lot clean.
According to the St. Christopher Newey Solid Waste Management Act, Chapter 11.05, Chapter 52, vacant lot. A person who owns or is in charge of vacant land shall keep that land clean and free of overgrown grass, bush or trees, and shall not allow that land to be used as a place for the dumping of litter. 2. A litter warden may, in accordance with the provision of Section 51, issue a litter removal order to a person referred to in subsection 1. 3. Where a person who is issued a litter removal order under Section 2 fails to comply with the terms of the order, the litter warden may clean the land and recover the expenses incurred in cleaning up the land as a civil debt owing to the government in a court of law. Now, what we are simply saying, some persons will, they might not be the owner of the land, but they are in charge of the land.
Right.
That means that you should keep that land clean for the person that you are holding up the land for, like looking after it. Some people say, "Oh, ain't my land," but you said you keeping it clean. You should keep it clean for that person, the person like public overseas. So you looking over the land, you can be issued a ticket, a removal or to clean the land if you don't comply within a certain period of time that we give you. You can be issued a ticket.
All right, and also, it is also an offense, for commercial gardeners, persons who clean personal land for a cost, to dump their green waste on other person's lot. You know that happens a lot?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, on Sunday, I actually had to stop a guy because I realized he was pulling a cart to take the waste to trade on somebody's lot. And I had to actually stop him, and I explained to him and I educate him of because what happened is I could have given him a ticket, but I advise him and I should tell him it's an offense, a violation, and next time if you're being caught, then you'll be ticketed. However, at this time I'm just going to warn you. Because people don't know. You go up and tell them, okay, well, my area clean, that's okay. You don't bother about the other, next door neighbor. But it is a violation, it's an offense to actually dump green waste on other person's land. And we're asking person out there, for listening to desist from doing that, because like I said, if you're being caught, you can be ticketed. All right.
So, Miss, where would you say the person is not supposed to dispose of the waste, or how should they dispose of that waste?
Good question. Now, what we ask the person to, once you have you hire someone to clean your land, it's your and them responsibility to dispose of that green waste properly.
Please do not put it in our bins.
Exactly. It's not supposed to go in the bin.
No.
To dispose it properly, you can bag it and have someone take it to the landfill. Okay. All right? It's not a lot of money at the landfill. And, sometimes people are being deterred from going to the landfill because they feel like it's going to cost them a lot. It doesn't cost much.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't cost much to dispose of your green waste.
And as a business entity, if that's what you're doing as a business, then you should factor the cost in your what you're going to charge the individual.
Yeah, right. So we are telling, we are encouraging person to. This is some throwing things on people's land. It is not right, It is not fair. Just imagine I have a piece of land. I mean, yes, it's my duty to keep it clean, yes, but not because it's probably having some overgrown weeds on it. Mean it's okay for you, because when it starts that way, it only take one. Once I see garbage there, I'm gonna think it's okay to put garbage there.
Yeah.
So people can always keep going and throwing garbage and build up. And when the owner for the land now ready to build, they have to move all these debris. They have to take back or to push down all these. It's not right. It's not fair. My mother used to say, what good for one, good for all. Do unto others as you will have them do unto you. You don't want someone to do that to you. Don't do it to them. All right, and of course, it is the property is the owner of the property owner is the ultimate responsible for complying, to making sure that the person who trims clean their land to dispose of it correctly. Okay, little one, what powers do little one have to inspect? Lorna, they have some powers. What powers do they have?
Yeah, we have the powers to inspect premises at reasonable times of the day.
Okay. All right. Okay, so a little one may determine by the inspections whether such accumulation of growth of weed pile up and bushes, they could determine according to the act, that it is a violation, and they can issue you a ticket. All right, they can determine that what's there, and they can make you move them. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. What is the cost though? If you issue a ticket,
all tickets are $500 to be paid in 14 days at the magistrate department. If failure to pay the fine of $500, the matter will then be taken to the court.
Okay. So that's the penalty failure to abate the act. Now, one other question I have for you, Lorna, before we go. It's just about time to wrap up just now. Okay? Before you issue a ticket, you all are going out on the 1st of August. What step will be taken before a ticket is really being issued?
Well, before we issue a ticket, we go and inspect the premises. And if we find that it's overgrown and it needs cleaning, we give the person, we find that the person in charge, we issue them with a little removal order before we could issue you with a ticket. We give you a time to clean whatever, the overgrown vegetation, cut down your trees or whatever, clean the yard or whatever, before we proceed to give you a ticket, which is $500.
Okay.
And we are appealing to folks to please trim your trees. As I said, this is hurricane season. Some of the branches overhang the electrical wires, and that could cause fire. So we are appealing to folks to please to trim your trees.
Okay. How long would the notice last? What time frame?
It depends. It just depends. A period of 14 days, sometimes 7 days. If sometimes the person will ask for a little extra time, and we work with you and we give you a little extra time.
All right. Okay, there you have it, folks. You've been informed. The little ones, they will be out, and we're expecting you to comply and to work along with them so as to keep our country clean. We want to thank you, the listening audience. We hope that keeping our country clean will be a part of you. It's your responsibility as well as mine. Do you have any closing remarks you want to say?
I would just like to say, do not panic shop. Just prepare what you can prepare. And we are a country that trusts in God. And so we say our prayers and we just hope for the best.
Okay.
Once again, I am appealing to the general public to clean your yards and trim your trees, and to avoid getting the penalty of paying $500.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, there you have it, folks. Thanks.
If you say you love your little dear country, try to do something positively. Be a watchdog for the environment. Don't leave everything to the government. We dump our garbage anywhere, lit on the streets everywhere. Our behavior is telling me that we really don't Quality to clean where it's dirty. Tourism development needs a healthy environment.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation, SWMC, is working hard each and every day to keep St. Kitts clean. Our primary mandate is to collect household waste while maintaining the engineer's sanitary landfill in Connery. While it is the responsibility of businesses to see to it that their garbage is properly collected and disposed of at the landfill, the SWMC offers a commercial waste disposal service with our Nosy program. We also offer a bin rental service where persons can rent large bins to do community cleanups or other waste disposal activities. Additionally, our headquarters in Taylor's Range include state-of-the-art conference rooms for rental. So when you're hosting another event, consider using the SWMC conference facilities. We want to continue serving you by keeping our environment clean. Because at the SWMC, waste matters. For more information, call our office at 465-9507.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Welcome back to Island Tea, right here on WINNMedia SKN. DJ Cross.
I'm not okay, you know. I don't even know why I look.
I love it when people know their names and respond as they should. DJ Cross. Come on, Jade, you can't tell me you like it.
No.
Okay, I guess you could tell me that.
Oh, yeah.
But we know it's not true, so we're going to keep doing it anyway.
All right.
But there's a lot of developments happening in town. One of the hot topics is well, has been over the last couple of weeks, the vendor situation. But everybody got a different opinion on this. Like it's been interesting to see how that conversation developed. I was in a shop yesterday and that was the big discussion. But there's some news coming out about the street vendors.
Yes.
And a post on Facebook on the official page for the Prime Minister stated that the police to announce that Lower Share Lane has been finalized as a location for our street food vendors. The site would include a mobile restroom, water, and lighting. We're moving fast. Vendors will have access as early as next week.
Okay.
Boom bang, things are happening.
So for all the people who was wondering and, speculating and, doing the things that we usually do in this country, you have some information.
Yeah.
I think that's a good location because, people already use it to vend anyway.
But that's the funny thing about this whole thing for me, Like, I remember, since under the last administration, people been talking about Lower Share Lane. As a matter of fact, the craft market there, I think, should be incorporated eventually, in front where the pork man does be.
Oh, pork man, I miss him.
Portman. Oh yeah, Portman don't be there.
Well, he said he will be back next week.
Okay.
Listen, I saw them put out a post that he would be back last Friday, and I intentionally starved myself to get my pork, only to find out it was the next Friday.
It was the next Friday.
Well, they then updated
Friday
and said,
after next.
yeah, they then updated and said that they would be the next Friday.
Oh man.
Let me tell you, my heart was crushed.
Mm.
Okay, because I literally thought about that pork all day,
Oh.
only to not be able to find it.
And you know the thing about that, when it's not even like you could then go and get like a replacement.
No,
Like
it
some like a
ain't
place.
the same.
Yeah, you can't get a place filler.
And the only other
Wow.
place that I like pork from is this lady from up New Road, and she's only on Saturdays. So
The hotel. So you couldn't get anything to
I just had to
satisfy
go home
the.
and grieve and pretend that I was eating pork.
What you end up cooking? What you end up eating?
Reefers.
Reefers? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
Reefers
fine.
saved my life.
Yeah. What you got from Reefers?
A burger and fries with 3 pieces of wings.
Ooh, what did I call that there?
I don't know.
But
It
that's
was
what
a
it is.
burger combo.
I got you. Well, yeah, guys, look out for that Low Share Lane, and please go out and support the local vendors.
What? Oh.
What? Oh, I saw that video,
Why did I open this video?
but I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. But anyway, I was saying, go out and.
Move it off the screen.
Sorry, I'll help you. There you go. Well,
Why did I open this video?
I don't know why would you. You studied. You actually studied the
But I
title.
didn't believe it. A cockroach was found in some food.
This is news. But
Somebody
you
says protein. Anyway, y'all going to hell, so.
Yeah, protein.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like and. Okay, so anyway, I was about to say.
Would I bring water to my eyes?
I was about to say to please go out and support the local food vendors.
Please.
Please. But also support the ones that are clean and.
And roach free.
Oh,
That was
man.
funny. That happened. It wasn't a roach. But one time, right, I bought some food. I won't say the place because I don't have no money to give them for a lawsuit.
No, if that's your experience, that's your experience.
It was literally my experience. And I bought some food. I was craving it really badly. And I said, you know, let me go get it. So I sat down and I go into my food and stuff. And I looked down and I was like, huh.
What you see?
It was like a fly lava.
Oh.
Mixed
Stop.
Stop.
Don't even continue.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
But wait, that wasn't the worst part.
Oh,
though.
no, there can't be more.
Yes.
Oh.
So I stopped eating and I consulted with my coworkers because I was like, maybe it's just me seeing things. And I was like, no, Jade, it's there.
Oh my gosh.
So I called.
And this was somebody ordered food.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I called my child father, who is a health inspector. And he went to the place. Mind you, this lady didn't know that we had any relations. Like, she didn't know the health inspector and myself.
We had a bit level close, yeah.
So, yeah, so he talking to her and he's sure and whatever. I'm laughing, right, because of her response.
Oh my gosh.
So he showed her whatever and he was like, so where did it come from? And the lady watched me. She insinuated that I put it in the food. The food cost $7 Azem. So she insinuated that I put it in the food to get some kind of refund. And I'm like...
A refund? Wow.
Bro, I was like, she not serious. I mean, they refunded me my money, my $7. However, the mere fact that you insinuated that a customer would try to willfully do this, where would I find this fly larvae from? And why would it's $7? Like,
give me a minute, Jade. I am slowly wilting away in the chair.
Bro, that was one thing. That was one experience that I will never forget because there was no apology, there was no nothing.
But you know what the real question is?
What?
So you eat there again?
No, boy. Let me tell you something, Bobby. You know what it takes one time, you know?
You know what it takes one?
And I will wait you off. I haven't been to some of my favorite places.
As a one bad experience?
Yes.
Oh.
After that, it's a wrap for you. I wouldn't, because, like, again, there was no apology. There was no, like, oh, my God, I can't believe this happened. We're so sorry. It was nothing. The woman blamed me for the food being contaminated.
Crazy.
Right?
Crazy. Wow.
I think so. Carla had an experience like mine. Let's see what I have to say.
Oh, boy. Good morning, caller, live on Island Tea. Tell us your story.
Greetings, Island Tea.
Greetings.
Everyone had the tea already, bush tea especially.
Yeah, man, we start the morning right.
Yeah, man, give thanks. You know that conversation there that the I'm having is a serious conversation. And Prince, I could understand you when you say don't go no further, because you see hearing them sound there, it run your blood cool, ain't it?
Yeah, man.
It's a serious thing. It's the people who are handling food. You see me personally, when I'm preparing food for myself, I go to the extreme. If I do not have something like lemon, or lime, I cannot cook. Because everything that I prepare, the first wash must be in lime water.
Right.
Everything that I'm cooking. It have to go through a lime water process and then I rinse it off on the running water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And people don't go through these processes. And next thing again, we see people cooking and they take off the pot. They take off the cover off of the pot. Listen to me very carefully. They take the cover off of the pot, whether they're in the process of cooking or whether they don't cook and they're sharing the food. They take off the cover off of the pot and they put down the cover on surfaces that is not clean. With the part that goes into, that cover the food down. Not turn it up. Are you with me?
Yes.
Not turn it up. They turn it down, so that means when they are recovering the pot, everything that the cover take up goes in the food.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. People don't observe clean practices when it comes to food. And I am asking people who are going out and patronizing people with food to be very careful who you are eating from.
Yes.
I have nothing against people, doing their business with food. But because food is a thing that goes into your body. It's like the vaccine. Lots of people have qualms with the vaccine because it going into them and they want to know. They are very concerned about something going into their body and the after effects. Food is the same thing.
Right.
The very same thing. Give thanks to the reasoning. It is not a pleasant reasoning. It is not it's not a pretty reasoning, but we have to have it. We have to talk about it. Blessed love.
Yeah, man.
Well, to that person who is asking what I can expect for $7, I am pretty sure not a fly lava.
Yeah.
That was not on the menu. I didn't order it.
Yeah.
So, the price of the food doesn't justify the quality.
And this was at an establishment. This is somebody in the back of the yard or something. This is at a food establishment in town.
The price has literally nothing to do with the cleanliness.
And I think that caller made such a good point, because you really do have to be concerned about where you buy your food from.
Because even some of the restaurants, the more established restaurants, people find things in
cut
their
corners.
food that they shouldn't find.
Corners.
Exactly.
Cut corners. And you really do have to. And you could look at certain things, right? You could look at certain things and figure out like if this is a place I wanted. There's places I do not eat in town simply because of how the drain look around the place. No, seriously,
I could agree with you.
Like if I'm walking to a place and the drain coming from the back look weird, I continue walking. I'm not buying food in there. It just speaks to the cleanliness of the and the mindset of the people in there. Like,
I agree.
Like I'm sorry. They're tying out the chicken next door, whatever.
Bruh. There are some things that I've seen that have made me go, I think I could just do a little fast today.
I would ask, but now I'm scared, so please do not.
No, man. I'm not. Yeah, but...
Hey, by the end of the day, there's nothing beats mama's cooking,
Boy?
Mama and grandma, make a pie yourself one time,
You better go home and eat. That's what they used to say, have food at home.
You have food at home. But no, I like people supporting local, especially. Local just have to do the thing. And this is why it's important for me to... for persons to have the food handlers permit. I think a lot of times there might be things that slip through the cracks. But when you go to a training and thing, like, you're made aware of certain things, right?
Unless you just really don't care.
No, like that again. It doesn't mean that you're going to adhere, but it means that you are aware, right? So, I like to see that people are aware of what they should do and ways in which they could keep their customers safe. So I like to see that there. And one of the things too that I really have to question is a lot of these pop-up, not the street vendors, but where people just kind of doing food out their house.
And selling?
And like you just order online and like
because
this
there's
delivery.
No real checking.
Yeah, I don't know.
To check.
Yeah, I don't know if those people like. Yeah, if you have an establishment, even if you're a street vendor, like out the street vendors, they have their food handlers permit. They're out in the open, so like they know. Well, there's a lot of these businesses that like, especially after COVID, just looking for something to do.
Yeah.
People tell me I could cook.
So let me do it for everybody.
I have WhatsApp. I have a kitchen and WhatsApp. That's all you need. Let's go.
A kitchen and WhatsApp.
Kitchen and WhatsApp.
Wow.
That's it.
That's true.
That's it. You got a business right there.
Yeah. But as we were saying, it's good to see that the vendors are being given a place that they can actually operate from. Hopefully it's maintained and all the good things that they promise are given. And yeah, we solve a problem.
Yeah. And again, I think this is good for the vendors too. The vendors, them always talk about like, location and all of that thing. But it's proven. Like this ain't, come on guys, this ain't, we're not reinventing the wheel here. Like when you have these, when you give people options of like things in same places, sales go up for everybody.
You know what I saw somebody cussing about yesterday? The fact that the vendors would have to register for the
for the spaces?
The space, not the ones down at this road that we just spoke about.
You mean at the market?
Yeah, not that one. I think it's the one up by the square. People are upset that vendors have to register for there. I don't know why you're upset, because guess what? Imagine, right? I'm a food vendor that has been operating for years in a spot in town. And now I'm asked to move, and I move and all of these things. Somebody new just decided they're going to do a vending. They're going to just get a food truck and they're going to operate from this spot. Now I lose out on a spot. What am I going to do? Because there's no registry, there's no nothing.
I don't even understand why. Like, why would you not want to register?
I don't understand it either. I was like, why are we? Why are we mad at this?
Look, I mean, maybe somebody could. I don't understand. Like the government is cleaning up this spot and thing, and I believe there'll be eventually there might be even more spots. But I was doing the count yesterday. Somebody was like, "Oh, only six or maybe 8 people could go up there." I was like, "Bro, how many food trucks are in town presently?"
About that amount. I feel like people just want to argue for arguing's sake,
Yeah, like again, I do think there's enough fault to pass around. Like from the government to the vendors themselves. There's enough blame to go around, right? But sometimes we gotta go through these situations for there to be solutions.
And not only that, like this is the same problem we had. Now, for instance, right? So we go into another whatever. So something happens and we need to lock down or whatever. We've already heard the government said like people registered are the ones who are going to benefit. So now if you are as a person who has a food truck establishment is registered and they know that you are not able to operate, they can't deny you the benefits because they know that you are one who has registered and is losing out on this money. Like why we so against?
Anyway, formalizing anything. But anyway, we have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. What's up?
And I am truly glad that you all have taken up this issue about the food vending and so forth. If the Bible says, I think it's in Ephesians, everything before the Lord should be done perfectly and in order. I know one of you are supposed to be in the church, or come out the church, or go up in the church.
Jade.
You should know all what I said. And you're supposed to be able to use that in everyday life. I'm not telling you how to live also, but I'm just saying that. Now, what I find in St. Kitts, people do not like
to follow orders. And we don't like things to be organized. We come to a case where the government realize for health and safety, you've got to implement certain measures. I do not know if any one of you ever looked at a program there, and I can't tell you what channel right now, but we call it World Travel or something like that. And they show you different spots all around the world. And I was impressed with Singapore. I always impressed with Singapore because notwithstanding the Asian people have a kind of discipline that we don't have. Singapore has made some strides from around in the 60s, from what it was to what it is today. I mean, Singapore is about the size of St. Lucia. But the kind of strides they have made, the capacity building and producing all sorts of things and so forth, but in banking and all of that, I just got squat around. But the thing is, what I was impressed with, they show you an area there in the capital. I don't remember the capital. But where they have food, it's a big market. And you sell all sorts of things. It's a kind of a sort of outdoor market. It's covered, roof on and so. And you have the area where you have food vending. And you ain't have food vending where you're selling certain other things. Because you know with food you don't carry a certain degree of temperature, heat. And all the businesses in there, the whole thing belongs to government, you know. But they set up small companies to run everything. It's a kind of a socialist democratic country, which I like. I like that very, very much. You keep people in check. You can't be spitting in the public, especially in the road, like how we do. They can't, if you let me catch you with the residue of bubble gum and so, you got a problem, you might get bit. I was so impressed with some children in Australia and that I said. And some one of them mentioned that kind of thing. I said, well, that is good. Catching on to children. Because those children, all of them are under 13. And I was so glad that they pick up that. I guess maybe they went on the internet and so forth and so forth. But I say all of that to say, come a case where government have to put things in order, and I'm glad that they're doing it. But what I don't want, not because people were not walking and so, don't let anybody rush you to do nothing. But you ain't got to drag your feet either. And I'm glad that they're introducing mobile toilets. I'm truly glad. And before go, I know that the public market, I know they very well. And I believe the bathroom facilities down there want
renovating.
Overhauling. They want do something better. And the people who will keep them clean, make sure they do their work. I believe health department don't do their work. That's the area I was doing with public health. They don't do their work. A lot of things we see happening around and they don't do nothing about it. Even though you call and tell them, you go to them. I know I go to the man in charge. I ain't even calling him. I'm afraid to call him.
Okay, caller.
I tell him something and years now and he ain't do one thing. And you're complaining about them.
Okay, caller, we have some other calls that we need to get to.
Yes, I'm coming out. No, man, I'm coming out. Have a good day.
You as well.
Yeah, the other callers ain't got about the business.
Oh boy. Sorry about that. Call back.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of Singapore too, but yeah, I'm telling you now, yeah, people get all up in the fields and so about certain things, and are we willing to sacrifice to achieve what it is like, you know, they've achieved? I definitely question that. But over the weekend, the end of last week, there was a report that 2 men had escaped.
I think they said 3, you know?
I think it wasn't 3. Three escaped and they captured one pretty quickly.
They captured 2 pretty quickly. I don't know. They captured somebody. Somebody captured.
Yeah, and then so there were still prisoners at large, a prisoner or prisoners that were at large, and we're pleased to report that the members of the Royal St. Christopher Navy's Police Force and officers of her, I don't even want to say it, said they worked swiftly to apprehend prisoners who had escaped their cells on Saturday, July 24th. A press release issued by the prison Sunday night confirmed the capture of 3 prisoners and indicated that they are back in custody and are on remand at her. Yeah.
If he was mine.
No, I'm not saying it. This is saying the matter will be investigated by the police and the relevant charges will be laid. Well, several measures have been implemented to improve security at the prison, which was instructed in 1840. Its management team will conduct an assessment to determine what additional steps can be taken to prevent further occurrences, the press release said. But Jade,
I only have one question, you know.
Tell me, because I'm pretty sure it's the same question I have.
Where you going? When you escape, where are you going?
No.
That's
Jade.
my question. Every time
Jade.
I get somebody escape, I'm like, where they going?
What do you mean where they going, Jade?
Where they going, Azem?
Anywhere.
Anywhere,
Jade?
Anywhere where?
Anywhere.
I mean, like...
Anywhere but back in. You think they're not going back in?
No,
it's like a vacation.
A vacation how?
Like, what? I mean, what you mean? Like, just... Look here.
Vacation how?
You have to understand, right? But in prison, the nature of prison is mundane, monotony. It's borderline depressive, right?
Okay.
Any sense of adventure, any
That's an adventure.
Well, isn't it? Isn't it? Like, Jade, like, think about it, right? Like,
for me, right? Okay, I guess my thinking is...
What? If I was in jail, I'd probably be just... Like, if I'm in jail long term, they can't hold me, Jade. I'm telling you.
Everybody will just be escaping.
Let's say I go in jail and they tell me, okay, forget me. Let's say there's a guy, right? He goes in jail. He gets 30 years. He's already in his 40s or 50s, right? What else he got to do? Like, just because.
So escape just for fun?
Of course.
You see, for me, right, usually, I guess because of the things that I watch, usually when people escape, they have a better chance of staying out because they have, like, let's say if you escape in America, there are states that you can go to. My thinking is if you escape, you're trying to get freedom. But like, there's nowhere for you to be free here because they're going to be looking for you and it's a small country. You can't go near it, you can't hop on a plane.
Jade, that's what I'm saying.
So it's just an adventure.
And not only that, okay. You know, okay. So I see, I just on a different kind of meds. You can imagine, right? You have a child, right? But they're coming up. You know you're going back prison, but you got to you jump the fence and go around.
Jump the fence and go to the child party?
Look, yes.
What? No, man, I don't want to believe. Like.
No, I'm just saying, Jade. Like how are the, like, I don't like, for me. If this is a place where everybody knows I don't want to go, I don't want to be. Why is it so like interesting that people try to escape a place that nobody wants to go?
But I'm not saying that that's what I mean. I mean, like, where do you escape to go? Like, I understand if you escape in a big country, there's places to
No,
hide.
Jade, you're talking about staying out. What I'm saying is...
Or they're thinking about staying out, they're just coming out for like a couple hours.
Yes!
But
why not? You're going back in anywhere?
But then you're going to be back in on stricter protocols. Like, no, you...
And that don't last forever, Jade. And then not only that. This is the thing for me, right? Imagine you're in a situation, you're in a cell that is overcrowded, a whole ton of people.
Usually.
You can imagine, even if you get one night to sleep in a bed.
But I don't think they got one night.
Yeah, but you gotta try.
You know what, you're right.
You gotta try. One night to sleep in a room by myself. Risk it all. Risk it all. I'm not dangerous. I ain't troubling nobody. I ain't coming out.
You just want a little freedom.
Like, and this is the same thing we talked about the other day, you know. I literally on Sunday, right, drove down in town just to remind myself and refresh my mind as to exactly how high them all they be.
Them prison wall?
I literally drove around the prison just to refresh myself.
What we see, I hear thinking the same thing, like if Azem, God forbid, had to go jail, they would have to put you on solitary immediately.
Too easy.
Because you got cause. You get your back out of prison too often. I don't see it.
I am not going to prison. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is, if someone who had my disposition went to prison, is one or two things gonna happen. They're either gonna be the coolest person in the prison to ensure that they have the best experience, or they will constantly be trying to escape. Not because they believe there's a way for you to stay out or anything. No. Just because, but what else I can do? Just sit down in here? This is why they make it difficult for people to escape, because nobody wants to be there.
Well, you're supposed to want to be there.
Exactly. So if you end up there, it only makes sense that you want to leave.
Ain't so leaving, go. ain't so want to leave, go.
Good morning, caller. Would you try to escape prison, or would you stay?
So you could. Well, you keep putting these people on the spot.
Good morning, caller, live on Island T. How are you?
Good morning. I just want to give an input on the prisoner escaping. You're a prisoner and you plan an escape. You have to have an idea and a mission as to why you want to escape and where you would like to go and what you like to do. But you're gambling with your life. All the government has to do is declare you armed and dangerous, and you become a free target for police and the member of the defense force. And the chances are you getting back in without, carrying back in, is very slim.
Really? How many escapees have been killed in St. Kitts?
Well, there's none.
Perhaps you need to go on the facts. Because based on what you're saying, right? We can't decide exactly what people like how people value system is here. Like somebody could consider success just getting over the wall and getting back in, you know.
The word that you use, we can't, and that is a word that does not fit in here. The reason why is because you are a human being and so am I. We can determine that we're in the place and how we would think. There's a possibility that somebody is thinking different, and we have to give way to that. The fact is that if you declare armed and dangerous, chances are you are making yourself an opportunity for an eventuality that we don't know what the outcome may be.
And I'm asking, sir, how many escapees have been declared armed and dangerous and have not got back in?
Well, there are lots have been declared armed and dangerous and have returned back to the prison.
Okay.
But you don't want to be the last game to find out that it could happen.
Yeah, I think the value system. I think the value system changes depending on person's situation. If you're being put in a different situation, persons start to think different.
Is to solve out your time and prepare to integrate back into society, and you will be rehabilitated and prepare to change the way that your life take and to do the things that keep you on the straight and narrow. But to think about escaping, the chances are it doesn't look so good. That is my opinion.
I got you.
If you take responsibility for your action, you take the punishment that is measured out to you, and you start your life all over again to go forward. So think about escaping, to me, is not really a good route to think. I hope that I could have added something to this conversation.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you.
Man, have a good day.
Yeah, man, appreciate you. But you see, that just means if that call go prison, he cooling.
Yeah, man, you don't know.
Ain't everybody under that?
Nope. Listen, you know what's funny? There's people that actually commit crime just to go back into jail.
Yeah, direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, direct. I knew of one guy in particular. He would literally, in his village, everybody know when he out, he going in somebody's house, and he was good enough that he would tell you, okay, this stuff down in the gut. Like when he don't get arrested, he would tell you, yeah, all the stuff there in the gut, there on that tap. Just go down by the mango tree. Yeah, you're going to pick up your things, everything there.
Yeah, and go back home.
Yeah.
Set them back up, you know. Additional security might be needed, but you know.
Yeah.
Listen, just yesterday, right, I was thinking about an experience I had with somebody who almost broke into my house. I was laying in my living room. No, trust me, this will never leave my mind, because this prompted me to make sure every time I go into the house, I lock the door automatically. So I was laying down. It was a Friday evening, and I just decided I was staying home. This was like a couple of years ago. And I was laying on my living room chair, and I think I fell asleep. And then for some reason, I just woke up, and I went and I locked my door. And as soon as I turned the lock, and I looked outside, a man was creeping up on my landing.
What?
Literally. And it didn't register to me that, like...
He was trying to come in.
No, I was like...
Yeah, in the moment, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, because this ain't even late. As it was like, after 7. So I was like...
Let me see what's going on with this door
yeah,
here.
yeah, like, honestly, I just got up and I locked the door. Before I even look outside, I just turned the knob on my door. And then I moved the curtain and I saw the man and I was like, okay, maybe you come to daddy. Because, like, why else would you be here after 7?
Right.
And then, like, I was like, hello. And the man said, look up, ran back down the steps and jumped over my neighbor wall.
What?
Yeah, and then a couple minutes later, I think it was a police officer. He wasn't in uniform.
Yeah.
But he came down the road and he clacked his gun. So I was like, oh, things happening outside
Things
for
happening, yeah, things happening outside.
Boy, let me tell you something. For the rest of the night, I couldn't sleep because all I was thinking is, if I didn't lock my door, this could have went so left.
Like some of the burglary like stories that you hear, right? It's like comedy, you know. I remember one time a family member of mine, so they were laying in their living room, and how it is like the window is right above the couch. So if you're laying in the couch, nobody would be able to see, like, you know, until you're literally inside and look down that. You do. So they were sleeping one night and something like wake them up. And when they open the eye, they just see the curtain moving and this hand coming into the window.
Boy, trust me.
And when the person people is like, oh, okay, where you going?
These things so funny, right? But then I remember another time too.
Oh my gosh.
Trust me, I've been robbed a couple times.
Oh.
My house has been broken into a couple times. One time, I think I was like not a toddler. I wasn't a toddler. I was older than a toddler.
Young child.
I was young. And my grandmother told me to go take a bath. And you know how most houses have a hallway, but always had curtains in front of it. So I shift the curtain now to go in the hallway, and I'm just there standing up. You're like, what is? So I was like, hello. I literally look up because I was short, and you know this tall man. I look up, I was like, hello. And he just looked down.
He was watching you.
So I turned back.
No.
I turned back and sit down by my grandmother. Hold on, no.
So you just went back and sit down?
No, I went to sit and I was like, Mommy, somebody in the house, you know. She was like,
what?
She didn't believe me. She think I just didn't want to go bed.
Oh.
So I was like, no, somebody in the house for sure. She was like, go take me. I was like, okay, you have to come with me. So she come. And as soon as I got in the bag, as if she turned off, I turned off too. So like as soon as she turned off, I turned off one time. And like we went back there, and in my head I know somebody in the house, you know. But because she didn't believe me, like what I could tell her,
yeah,
I'm young,
exactly.
So happened the back room, the light just turned on.
The light just turned on.
Because he couldn't see.
Right. I mean, you have to see to steal most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're thieving, seeing is a prerequisite.
Essential.
Yeah.
No, my cousin lived with me at the time, but she wasn't home, and that was her room.
Right.
So if the light turned on and all the two of us home.
Somebody in the room.
And so she started to scream outside and watching her like.
I tell you.
I tell you, so. Time, you know. Like I'm good. 15 minutes ago, I tell you this, you know. So I happened to my neighbor, because she screamed so loudly that my neighbor heard her, and we ran over and chased the man away.
Hey, watch your some of the stories you hear about people breaking it. I remember this guy was telling me a story about the fact he lives in an affluent neighborhood. You see, he come home from work one day, walk in, and gets to his closet, and he's taking off his jacket. And so he takes off his jacket, opens the closet, and going to put his hand in the closet.
And a hand come out.
And somebody take the jacket from him.
And I pass out. cool start passing out.
He said he happened so weird. Like he didn't even he brain ain't processing what's happening. That a man in his closet, like doing coat check. The man doing coat check in his closet.
And just when people want to know how I remember these things because I was traumatized. That's why.
I had a similar situation when I was young and I remember it. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Good morning, Azem.
Morning.
And good morning, Jade. What happened to the last caller there, right? What he trying to tell you? He trying to tell you that any man trying to escape from prison, their life is in danger. That's why you just hear that they're armed and dangerous. Not because nobody ever get died by escaping prison. Because we police them as quick or maybe ignorant or we countries so violent like them other countries like Brazil and Jamaica and all those countries. Any prisoners escape in Jamaica, they hardly go back in their life. You understand? And what some of these prisoners do when they escape, they go home to their mother, or they go to a lawyer, and a lawyer take them back in. So that's the way we go. Anyone try to come out of prison, their life is in danger. That's why they say the arm and danger. Even if they're not under danger, that's what they tell you.
Yeah, I think the thing too is that I think what we need to recognize too, a lot of people life in danger in there too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying is sometimes the values that you ascribe until you're in certain situations, like they don't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't really make sense. But you gotta be in certain situations for certain things to see him like a credible option.
Mm-hmm. That's why they should try to keep out when they go once or twice.
Yes.
They shouldn't try to go back in there again.
Indeed.
They should try to rehabilitate themselves from prison.
Indeed.
You understand? Mm-hmm. You just can't go to do something ignorantly or destroy somebody, or maybe because you just steal some money and you want to replace it in a secure area. You're going to try to escape in a prison. For that, you could lose your life too.
Indeed.
That is just it. You understand? All we got to do, just try to keep away. All right then. Good program as usual.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. But that's a good advice, you know.
Right.
No go jail. My brother.
I mean, that's a good option.
Don't
that's
go
like
in.
the top option.
Don't go in there. I mean, as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Try to avoid doing things that would lead.
I think you should as well.
Yeah, that I could definitely get on board with that.
Same.
But speaking of breaking free.
You're stupid, you know.
Speaking of breaking free, the main opposition in St. Lucia has claimed victory in the general election yesterday, as St. Lucians voters stuffed their frustration into the ballot boxes and rejected the Alan Chesney administration after only a 5-year term in office. Wow.
Yeah. That's not. I mean, I think I saw somebody who was Lucian say that has been the thing happening over the last couple of elections. Like
they ain't wasting no time.
Yeah, they keep.
We're not playing with them. Watch.
Let me try something else.
Yeah, if the people do not feel that the incumbent has performed as they should, well, people make a decision.
They get them out.
I think, and we spoke about this yesterday, and you know, people keep wondering how is it that people are able to seemingly switch because the preliminary results indicate that the SLP, which was trounced 11-6 by Chesney's UWP in 2016 general election, could win as many as 12 seats in this election. So bear in mind that there's only 17 seats in St. Lucia up for grabs, right? So it's a huge swing back and forth. It's a huge swing back and forth. And we were talking about this yesterday. Why is these swings possible? I think it's because when you really look at it, ideologically, the parties are very close, right? When you look at positions that the parties take on certain issues, right? Whether it is be an issues of religion, issues on finance, issues on education and stuff like that, you don't see vast departures.
Yeah, they're kind of close in.
Yeah, you don't see
that
vast
they have,
departures. So it may difference in personality. A lot of times in the Caribbean, a lot of people lose election based on personal reasons.
Oh, you better believe it.
Right? Yeah. So.
And in this case, it could have been that even though they have the same type of ideologies, the party in power, they didn't deliver on certain things, and the people felt like they didn't have any faith in them. So they said, you know what? Let me try another party. The same thing somebody is saying on the live. This is the fourth election that they changed up.
Yeah, they're wasting the time with them.
Solution don't seem to
keep them on the toes. Keep them on the toes.
Don't feel like you can stay here.
And I mean that it's rough. I think it's rough on the parties because, again, one of the things that we spoke about that I bring up here all the time is I believe that because we don't have this long-term planning, that it really limits the amount of development and think a lot of things that need to be instituted really and truly cannot be instituted properly in one term.
They need time.
So it's rough. But the leader of the SLP, Philip Pierre, he said, we have won the government, and I intend to be a government for the entire country, a government of inclusion, a government that will listen to people, a government of tolerance, and we are hoping to take this country all the way from the division and conflict it is in now. So, time will tell.
There are 5 years.
Time will tell.
Because Lucia clearly don't play with that.
Yeah, time will tell. And not only that, it's not a matter that they switch in government, but they switch is these big swings. All the political pundits were feeling like this would be a close election. Some were even suggesting that it might, in order for us to get some type of conclusion to it, we'd have to have like a coalition government. St. Lucia had different ideas. The people had different ideas.
Why was how many did they win?
When? This time?
Yeah.
Well, right now we're looking like it's going to be 12-5.
12-5, okay, yeah. Okay.
The last time it was 11-6.
12-5.
So.
And I think two of them, I think there was somebody who is independent in there. There's also.
Yeah, there was a few independent candidates.
Yeah,
I think one or two that were successful. Still waiting on all the final counts. But yeah, guys, we have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. What's up? Let's see if we get this caller instead. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Yes, I'll call back again. I want to ask you all a question. You think that people who go to prison, you think that they're mentally stable? You ain't got to answer me right away. And you think about the St. Lucia election. No, before over there. I normally interact with people, a lot of people. I go inside the prison there and walk in there in the past and so do some walk in there. I ain't gonna give no details though. But people who are they had them incarcerated, had them in some areas, security areas where the big criminals would be. And they want to make fuss and they're in there. So I told one of them, I said, well, you're in here. You ain't pray to God to come out. You're going to make more confusion so that you could stay longer. God another time for you. He said, yeah. I said, well, you're supposed to know that. You're breaking the rules, you're breaking the laws. Anyway, that's for another time. St. Lucia, if you look back at the history of St. Lucia and general election, post-independence, post-colonial colonial time, is a good way to assess situation. But when you change the government too fast, the government doesn't get a chance to set up good planning and so forth. You're going to be wasting money on elections and so forth. So it's not really a good thing. And most of a small state. Have a good day.
All right, man. All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so, oh, man, but it's interesting, It's interesting how the people of St. Lucia seem to be willing seem to be willing to to change. I would have liked to be able to really assess the campaigns and the stuff. I really wasn't paying attention, to be totally honest. But it's interesting how that plays out, because this is something that we don't see in a lot of the other Caribbean countries. There's some countries that have some real dynasties, 15, 20 years, father, son come, that kind of thing. Yeah. But you see, and it is, for me, it's not as simple as to say, like, we don't agree with changing the government every 5 years. I believe government should be given a chance to perform if they've shown the capability to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, yes, ideally, you would like to see situations where the countries can plan. And the thing about it for me too is that we need somewhere where long-term planning can happen. Right? We need somewhere to have some sort of continuity outside of the party. So in other words, there must be somewhere where there are some projects that supersede politics and government.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, development programs, for instance, let's say yesterday we were talking about sports, right? In order for us to get to where we know we can get to in sports, it's going to take long-term planning. It has to be a long-term vision. So if this vision is set up by whether consultants, local experts, whatever, and that is then accepted, it needs to be something that can then be bought into by the government, no matter who in. Right? So government can just come and decide, well, we're going in a different direction, because then we're just going in different direction every election.
Yep, basically.
And if you're going in different directions every election, you ain't going to reach nowhere. So I don't have a problem with, I think the issue is not so much just that, the governments have these five-year terms and then we have election and whatever. I think part of it is that the governments have too much control over what is done and what is not done in a sense. I think we need to have some long-term visions that are bought into by the entire nation. And so you're going to power, this is the direction we're going on, get on board. And so your job is to steward us. You're the stewards of this vision, right? As opposed to, well, what important for us right now is this.
Yeah.
And what really it takes to make what is important to you happen is 10 years, and then 5 years later somebody come and, well, what important to us now is this.
So then there's no completion of anything, because it keeps starting over. Like, for instance, let's say our government, their main priority is doing the roads. The roads might take 7 years. They start, they lose election, the road's not finished. Somebody else come in and say, well, my priority is housing. They start a housing project, they get voted out, they finish. Somebody else come in, my priority is sustainability or whatever. So it's like a lot of projects being left behind, nothing getting moved forward, so we won't have any growth because everybody is in different directions.
Yeah, and I think even the idea of perform or go is difficult as well, because
perform or go by.
The perform or go, because based on what we are saying, right? What then happens is that in order to show performance, governments may then be incentivized to do things in a way that gives them talking points on the campaign trail, but not necessarily things that really move in the country forward. So it's one thing to say, for instance, we were talking about sports yesterday. So it's one thing to go up on the platform and say, we built a playground in this community, and or we lighted this playground, or we upgraded the facility, right, in this community, and that is good. But yeah, that comes that's a talking point on the campaign trail. What is the overall vision for the country in terms of sports development? So because you can tell them perform or go, sometimes they just kind of perform in a way that allows them to then make a case for them being re-elected in the next election that does not necessarily have to do with long-term vision. It's like, look what I have done, look what I have done, look what I have done. You understand? So, again, I think it needs to have organizations, statutory bodies, whatever it is, that operate with government support, but independent of government, so that, you know, they could chart the course for some of these things. We see it in some of the other countries, especially in arts. You have like these statutory bodies or these government subsidized companies and things that really and truly their mandate is overall development of whatever, you know, sector they're involved in. So like in Trinidad you have like what's the Trinidad one? Creative Titi.
What?
Creative Titi. Creative Titi, Trinidad Tobago. Right? And stuff like that. So and of course you could have it where, you know, the governments would have persons that they could bring on board in terms of maybe a spot on the board and that kind of thing. And we see it in different things. We see it like with the bank, right? National Bank and thing.
They have the board and stuff.
Right? National Bank can do what you gotta do and got vision and all of that there, no matter which no matter which government come in. So we need to do it in other areas too. Set up things like that. But hey, to the people of St. Lucia,
y'all have spoken.
Good luck.
Y'all have picked who y'all think is a better person, and I think they said that that's the first dark skin person that has been in power in years ever. That's wild.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, that is very. You see, this is why I laugh at when you say the first time. Don't judge us. Don't. Jose, I'm with you. That's the same thing. That's the same place my mind went to. I said, huh?
Jose, by chance, is your favorite comedian Cat Williams?
Oh, you're funny.
Oh, boy.
You are funny.
Are you funny?
You are funny.
Oh. Well, by time running us down, you know, Jade.
As usual.
Oh.
So time to go home. Yeah, we can see what else we got on the little agenda there.
You choose.
Okay, let me see. Let's do the health mask thing, because I feel like Fauci and the CDC just saying anything at this point, okay?
Like duh.
And it's very annoying.
Well, according to The Guardian, guys, Fauci says health officials considering mask guidance revision for the vaccinated.
You think?
Anthony Fauci, the White House chief medical advisor, said on Sunday top U.S. health officials were discussing whether to revise mask guidance for Americans vaccinated against COVID-19. This is under active consideration, Fauci told CNN. Though he also emphasized that local governments can issue their own rules under current guidance from the CDC. Los Angeles County and St. Louis, Missouri, have reinstated indoor mask requirements, and other cities are weighing whether to do the same. After significant drop in COVID-19 cases because of the national vaccine campaign, infections are rising in all 50 states and Washington, D.C.
All 50?
All 50. The increases are highest in states with large groups of unvaccinated people. More than 610,000 have died from COVID in the U.S. No, we spoke about this actually when we were dealing with the announcement in the UK.
When they're talking, this was recent?
In the UK. Remember in the UK they decided learn to live with it.
Oh, I thought you was talking about when the CDC said vaccinated people now don't have to wear masks.
Okay, well yeah, they said that.
Very stupid. Eh?
Yeah, we spoke about that as well. And the thing for me is,
I'll just say anything, man.
You know what the funny thing for this is? You don't realize, like, especially in some of the Asian countries, wearing masks has been normalized for years now.
Years and years. Like, this is literally a way that they live. When y'all was talking about y'all mandating masks, the people that was like, well, we've been doing this, so like, welcome to our world.
Yeah. But for me, I have I've been listening in on conversations about the mask thing, and you'll hear people say things like, well, why I gotta wear a mask? I chose to vaccinate. I took the risk and vaccinate. And some people who have not vaccinated have chosen to take that risk. So we should be, you deal with the consequences of your actions, right? Insinuating that, hey, if you die, you die.
I feel like that's a lot of people's position currently.
Yeah, I think it becoming up, and not only vaccinated people. I think unvaccinated people are people who have people who have chosen not to take the thing. Is kind of like, you know what? I believe that I rather take the chance of contracting the disease than dealing with the vaccine, right? You know what's funny about this too?
Oh.
This is what I can't understand, and this is for a subset of people. A lot of people, let me not say a lot of people. I've spoke to somebody like this, and when I said this to him, I could see his brain bubbling, and like totally like steam was coming out of his ears, and he was malfunctioning.
Well, usually
he was telling me that he is going to deal with the virus naturally. He lives his life in a way where he constantly makes healthy choices, what he eats and that kind of thing. He's not taking no vaccine that man built in a lab, right?
Okay.
So I go, but you ain't the same person that tell me corona was made in a lab.
I mean.
And at that point,
he was like.
He started malfunctioning.
I think, listen, that's why I say I stop having these conversations, because
he
a lot of the things
malfunctioning.
Don't make sense to me. The things that people say don't make sense. I just stop.
Okay, that happens, but for me, truly, that's not. I wouldn't say that.
Me no.
I would say that, because a lot of people, I understand where they're coming from. I understand where they're coming from.
Those people who have.
But I think that for me, that's the most people I talk to. Like, I understand where they're coming from.
Maybe my people.
Of course, I might not understand the people who ask me if I've become magnetic and so, yeah. But I think that.
We ain't check,
I did.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Actually, I didn't. I didn't. I wish I could say I did.
We missed that opportunity.
So why the magnetism does fade? We shouldn't still be able to do it now.
That's a question for tomorrow.
Oh.
That's the question for tomorrow.
Yeah, but guys, to me, it just kind of, and I think what's happening is a lot of people who are on the side of, well, we got to wear masks and thing. Bear in mind that there are a lot of people among us who aren't able to even, it's not an option for them to take the vaccine. So whether or not you're pro-vaccine, vaccine hesitant, or anti-vaccine, like the truth is there are a lot of people among us where it's not even an option, especially young people, children, and people with pre-existing health conditions. So it's like when we start to, and that's one of the things that really upsetting me about these conversations. Like as if there's only two sets of people. Like no,
it's really not.
Like,
I keep saying
it's like vaccine versus unvaccinated. Like there's so many different classifications.
Exactly. That is why when people start talking about, oh, you need to limit this and do that, and like you have to understand that you're affecting people who don't have a choice. Like
right, everybody don't have a choice.
Exactly.
People
like some people just literally can't put this vaccine in their body because it will affect them negatively. So why are you trying to infringe on their way of life because of something that they personally can't do? That is very unfair.
Yeah, there's pregnant people, there's people with other pre-existing conditions, there's young people, there's elderly, there's people who would have had the virus prior, and now would have had some immunity to it because they've recovered. So like, yeah, I don't like this thing where we're just kind of trying to segment the population into these two categories. Like, that's kind of weird to me.
Kinda?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go home. Before we go, we usually try to tell y'all who to look out for tomorrow. We have Mr. Astafan coming in tomorrow to talk about his life, his career, him.
Big up friend of the show?
Yes.
Mr. Astafan.
Yes.
Definitely a big listener. So really looking forward to that tomorrow.
Right?
For sure. But Jade, time is fast spent.
Yeah.
It's time for us to go along and get on with the rest of our day.
Y'all send a prayer for Kevon. Send up a little prayer for Kevon.
I say a little prayer for you. But
poor friend. And I tell you, I know this was gonna happen, you know. For me message just last night and tell us how he feel. I say, I know I'm gonna have to you in the morning.
But yeah, guys, it's been a real pleasure. Thank everyone who listened, who viewed us online, everybody who commented, shared, everybody who called in. Really appreciate your callers. Even though sometimes Jade don't like she want to call. I don't know why she do that. But guys, it's really been a.
Give me the microphone.
What are you talking about?
He lying. Carry on now.
The people were looking at the show, like people listening. But anyway.
You ain't gonna excuse me because Kevon in here. Wrap up the show, let's go. Before we fight in here. On camera.
I would not fight Jade. The caller told us, gave us great advice. Don't do anything to go to jail.
I don't care about that one. That wasn't important. It's the other one that threw me.
I don't know if that means they're going to beat me up or not.
No. Safe space. Safe space.
Nice. But yeah, guys, it's been a real pleasure this morning coming in and talking to you guys. Really appreciate you guys tuning in with us daily. And if this is your first time, why you so late? You know how long we're here?
I've been here a long time.
But keep coming. Now that you're here, keep coming.
Don't leave.
Yeah. Witty, Morning, Axman, DJ Shabang, Hosea, all the ones who log on regularly and comment and share.
Cleo and Theo.
Cleo and actually, I ain't see Cleo today. I believe Cleo's still celebrating.
Cleo was on the live. She asked for Kevon.
Oh, she asked for her friend. Cleo, big up yourself. But yeah, guys. It's been a real pleasure. Remember, if you want to join the conversation online, you could check us out on WINNmedia SKN at Facebook and on YouTube. Also, you could check us out on the WINNmedia SKN website. You could go and check out all the news we've been talking about, as well as, of course, the radio 98.9 FM is still up and kicking big time. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Remember, you can't be everybody cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you guys tomorrow.